changed. Starting this year, you and I had this conversation. Starting this year, some people ask us, what did you think? What was the probability of a recession starting next year, meaning 2022? And we said it's less than 10%, right? In other words, you're coming out of a pandemic. They shut down the economy, right?
It can only go up
and so
from there.
the economy can only go up. I mean, you can't stay at the levels we were at before. So the economy can only go up, right? So we said there's just no way that can happen. But here we are, literally 8 months into this year, and now
10.
you and I, and the whole, I mean, I know that at Emergent Financial, we've had the conversation about recession, which we didn't have that conversation at the beginning of the year. We have the conversation saying we are now getting closer to the probability that if things don't get any better, we may see a recession.
You're now at the place where it's beginning to trickle down. In other words, you have inflation, you have supply chain issues at the beginning of the year. If they're temporary, people don't really change their behavior. You're unhappy about it, right? You go to the store, the milk is more expensive, the bread's more expensive, I go to Lowe's, the wood's more expensive. You're not happy about it, but you're not necessarily changing your behavior if you think it's temporary.
That's right.
Right? The longer it goes on, now you start to begin, this is what I talked about with Jerry on the show the other day, now you begin to change your behavior, because now you sit there and say, well, if those Christmas sniffs are going to be more expensive in 2 months, I'm going to buy them now.
That's right.
If everybody does the same thing, what happens to the price of the gifts now? Goes
exactly.
up. If you think bread is going to be more expensive tomorrow, everybody goes and buys bread today. What happens to the price of bread today?
It goes up.
It goes up. So now you're beginning to change your behavior. Now you're sitting there saying, well, because I know my normal living expenses, maybe my rent, my food, my gas is going to be more expensive for the next 6 months. I don't think I'm going to buy that new fridge that I was thinking of getting. I probably won't try to get a new car, even if I could, because the car prices have gone up because of the microchip shortage. Right? Maybe I'm not going to buy that, replace that air conditioning unit. I won't replace that. I won't fix that. Because you're sitting there saying, all my day-to-day expenses are now higher, and I don't see it changing. And the fact that the bond market is behaving as it does means a lot of people are saying, I don't see this changing. In other words, we can hear it's temporary all day long, but if you stop believing that it's temporary, you now change your behavior. And I think we're now seeing, in the past couple months, we have seen consumer confidence decline.